When I'm an old man, or even when I'm in my 40s or something, and like a nephew or possibly a son or daughter asks, like, you were into that whole gaming thing, what was the most memorable part of gaming for you? And I'm not sure if this is gonna be the most memorable, but it's gonna be one of the most, is the Skylanders experience. I'm not here to talk about the actual gameplay itself. I'm here to talk about my experience with the game and the shopping for the toys, because that's what I'm going to remember about this. The game itself is fun, or at least the 3DS one is. I thought the Wii one was kind of slow and boring. But it's the experience I've had with these toys that is what's really going to stick in my head. And I guess I should start from the beginning. I think this game came out in like October, and I think I got into it in around November or maybe mid-December. I'm not sure. I think it might have been mid-December, and maybe it was either November or December, but regardless, it was at a point where you could still find the toys in stores pretty easily. It was before Christmas, and I got into it around, November, December, and I just said the exact same thing over again. And yes, you could still get the toys in stores, and that's when it was probably the most fun. Is you would go to a store, like you'd play the game for a while, level up your characters, and then you think, oh, I want a different one, so you go to the store and buy a new character, or get a 3-pack and get 3 characters. And that was a lot of fun. You go to the store and buy them. But I started to notice, because I didn't have all the ones that were out by Christmas. Like, by the time Christmas came around, I was still missing a handful of them. Because I snapped up as many as I could because, I wanted them. And little did I know, that was one of the smartest things I've ever done, because holy fuck, well, I'll get to that. But, so, where was I? Like, I started to notice closer to Christmas that they were getting harder and harder to find, that stores were running out of them. And I sort of figured, oh, okay, it's just because it's close to Christmas, and this is apparently a big seller for kids this year. And so I sort of figured, like, maybe a while later, like maybe sometime in January, it'd be a lot easier to find these toys now. No. Like I said, I was so lucky I started playing when I did, because now these things are harder to find than like Tickle Me Elmo, Furby, Tamagotchi, all those toy crazes. This is the next toy craze. This is the big one. This is the one where people are hoarding them, they're buying them all up, selling them online for massive increases of price. And I take pride in knowing that every Skylander thing I've purchased, I got at a store at the actual reasonable price. I never went online to buy any of them. I don't intend to buy any of them online. I'm gonna struggle through it. I'm gonna hunt for them. And yeah, so that's a sick thing. Is like the hoarding. That seems to happen a lot with kids' toys. Is like the hoarding thing. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of middle-aged or 20-year-olds like me who want to play the game too. But it is a kids' game, and to hoard something and be so maniacal, and like the word I came up with was grinchy, because that's, well, I didn't come up with it, but it's the best word I can think of to describe the whole hoarding kids' toys and selling them online for massive price upgrades. It's like, you don't want the toy, you're not even buying it for your kid, you're just exploiting parents who want to buy the toy for their kid, and it's grinchy. That's the best word I can come up for. It's mean, it's grinchy, it's cruel, it's unfair, all of these things. just to make, I mean, it's smart, I guess, like, it works, people buy them, but it's just so unfair, and it really sucks, is the thing. So if you do that, you're a horrible person. I'm sorry, but if you hoard kids' toys and sell them online for massive price hikes, you suck. You really fucking suck. I hate that. Okay? Like, I don't care. You suck if you do that. Anyway, so now, like I said, they're really hard to get. And ever since Christmas, but like since Christmas, I got most of them. At that point, of the ones that were released, I was just missing Sonic Boom, Chop Chop, Bash, the legendary 3-pack at Toys R Us, which I don't give a fuck about. I really don't. It's just palette swaps with slightly better stats. I really don't care, and I'm not considering them part of the collection. Like, if I get everything else, but I don't have the legendaries, I'm still calling it a complete set, because they're the same fucking toy, just with different colors. It's stupid. Don't even count them. But I was only missing a few, and also Whirlwind and Drill Sergeant, because they were exclusives to like Target and Walmart, but I don't think that was going on in Canada. So in Canada, you just couldn't get them. But in Wave 3, now you can get them, and I'll get to that in a bit. But so it was maybe a few days ago, maybe a week ago now, that a couple weeks ago actually, I learned just how hard they are to find now. And you know, I didn't think much of it. It was like, oh, okay, they're harder to find now. But I didn't realize just how hard they are to find now, because, like, and again, I got lucky. I kept getting lucky and thinking, oh, they're still easy-ish to find. Like, I went to the Walmart, and I knew they were limited, but I still saw plenty of 3-packs of the Zap, Hex, and Dino-rang, which I already had those 3 anyway. But apparently Hex is really hard to find now, but that was one of the first ones I got for the game, because I think I got into it as soon as, like, when Wave 2 was released. I think I got into it, like, pretty close to when Wave 2 was released, which was Wrecking Ball, Dino-rang, and Hex. And there was also several 3-packs of Eruptor, Chop Chop, and Bash. And I didn't have Chop Chop or Bash, so I snapped one of those up. And a couple days later, I went to Metrotown, and I was there anyway, and I went to the EB and thought, okay, I'll ask if they have Skylanders, because at that point, all I was missing was Sonic Boom, and, you know, Whirlwind, Drill Sergeant, you know, legendaries, but I couldn't get them. And also there was some Battle Tower that I did see at, like, Toys R Us before Christmas. I didn't realize it was actually something you could put in the game. I just thought it was a special castle or whatever you put them on, so I didn't think much of it. But again, I don't really care too much about that. I think it's more for the console thing anyway. I don't know if it did much in the 3DS game, but whatever, because I like the 3DS game better. So, yeah, I went to the Metrotown, and I just happened to get there as soon as another older lady was in front of me, and they were pulling out, you know, Skylanders single packs out from the back. It's like, ooh, Skylanders. Because I was about to ask, but this lady already asked to find them, or for them to bring it out. And I was like shitting my pants there in fear, because, you know, she asked for them first, so she got first pick. And Sonic Boom was there. Sonic Boom was there, and Sonic Boom is tough to find, especially here in Canada, because it was the only air elemental available in Canada for like the longest time. Now Whirlwind is finally available. But, yeah, so she, like, and I fully agreed, yep, you get first pick. And I think I accidentally made it look like I was trying to get her to pick something else. Like, I didn't say what one I wanted. I never said which one I wanted. I didn't want to cloud her judgment in that aspect. But I did sort of accidentally, like, you know, being me, I I want to help out and, you know, tell what's good. So I was pointing at Stump Smash saying, this one's one of the strongest ones, you know, and then she kind of gave me this look. It's like, as if to say, butt out. I was like, okay. But I wasn't trying to sway her to not pick the one I wanted. I just genuinely wanted her to pick a good one. But she picked Drobot in the end. And Drobot's pretty good. Drobot's one of the cooler ones. And so I got to pick up Sonic Boom, and I was like, yes! So happy. So I kept getting lucky. And, like, this was just a couple days ago that happened. A few days ago that happened. And so yesterday was January, whatever, I don't know what day it is right now. It's Friday something. But yesterday, I found, like, I was calling around looking for Skylanders, because I'd seen on eBay a lot of people had listed some of the Wave 3 stuff. I didn't know that Wave 3 was released yet, or because there was no official release date for when Wave 3 was going to come out. I think that was intentional, because then there'd be, like, riots and whatever. So it was just sort of a surprise that they're available. So I started calling around several stores, lots and lots of stores. I called around, and the EB Games closest to us, like a 5-minute bus ride away, and like very close by. It took me about 15-20 minutes to get there. I called them. They said, we have Empire of Ice, which is the new adventure pack. And I was like, really? Alright, I'll come right down and get it. I was willing to trade in, like, anything, because I was fucking broke, and still kind of broke. But I was, you know, I packed up a bag of, like, Rayman Origins, Mario Galaxy, like, Wario Land Shake It. Great, amazing games I love, but was willing to get rid of them, at least for a little bit, in order to get this thing. Like, it's amazing how much these are, like, screwing with my mind. But, because, you know, Mario Galaxy now, it would have been stupid if I did that. So, overall, I'm glad what happened. But, it took maybe, like, 15-20 minutes to get there. So I had to wait for the bus and stuff. And by the time I got there, it was gone. It was like I ran, because I was running as much as I could on that trip. I was like running to the bus stop, running from the bus to the mall, like running through the mall, and I got to the counter. I was like, oh, Skylanders? Because they know me pretty well there, and like they know my voice on the phone. So I was like pantsing. It's like, oh, Skylanders? I remember that's how I said it, and they're like, she looked kind of like she didn't want to say what she had to say. She was like, we sold it in the time it took you to get here. And I was so mad. I mean, I left the store, like, you know, I was calm and cool, like, as I was in the store. I think I swore once, and there was like a kid behind me, so I realized, okay, I gotta hold it in, and I went out of the store, and even while I was still in the mall, I was going, fuck, that's so unfair, fuck, like I was saying fuck like that really loudly. Like I didn't care, I was mad, I was so mad. And it was at that point I realized how competitive it is to find these things now. So, but again, it made it so I didn't trade in like Mario Galaxy. Great games. I'm kind of overall glad that happened, especially because today it made up for it, because it was about 10:30. Yeah, and that was the thing. The EB games I called to, like, I called about 9 different EB games, and like on about the 8th one, I got really frustrated. Like I was like, you know, you got to set a limit on these things. It's really annoying to find. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Is that disaster happened? Like, I didn't get the thing. Then I came home, and then I started calling other EB games, and you know, I was mad at that point. And by about the 8th store I called, it was like, you know, you gotta set a limit on these things. It's really like, I didn't swear, but it was like, it's really hard to find these things now. You gotta set a limit. It's frustrating. And you know, one bad experience for me with these Skylanders so far. It was only one disappointment so far. I mean, I'm sure other parents are like going fucking crazy looking for these things, and their kids are like crying, oh, you didn't get, but no, one bad experience for me so far. I mean, you know, you can't win them all. But, yeah, and they were nice, like that one store, because they could tell I was frustrated, and I think they understood. And so they gave me some good information, is to call the EB Games like every day. That's what they said, call every day, and call from about 10 to 11 or 11 to 12, around that time, and that's when they can, because I'm not sure if that means like they get their Skylanders out first before anything else, because I know whenever I call for actual games, they say call around 2 or 3 and we'll open our shipment, but they, for some reason they said call earlier. And like some of them did know though, like they did know, like, because I called today, like today I called a bunch of stores. I called like 11, 13 different stores, not just EB Games. Like I called EB Games, Walmart, Toys R Us, Future Shop, Best Buy, all these places that stock Skylanders. Very few had, like maybe 3 places had any. Future Shop had, no wait, I don't think Future Shop, no, Future Shop had 1 Drobot, one of the, I think it was, what was it? One of the Toys R Us I called had 1 Bash, and the Best Buy, now this is something interesting for you Skylanders fans you might want to look into. I called Best Buy, and they said they had a pack, they said they had the starter kit, which has Gil-Grunt, you know, Spyro, and Trigger Happy, but they said they also had a 3-pack of those characters without the game. I didn't know that existed. I honestly didn't know that existed. I mean, that must be new, or like a Best Buy exclusive, because I've never heard that. I didn't see that on eBay anywhere. So, like, that's an inside tip, I guess, is not inside. I mean, I don't work there, but, you know, it's a tip from me to you, is that exists. That exists. I don't know if she was just wording it weird and I misheard it, but I'm pretty sure that's what she meant. I'm pretty sure that's what she meant, because I actually have heard a couple of other people on forums say that they have seen that. So either it's just really rare, and like they haven't advertised it at all, or I don't know, it must just be a Best Buy exclusive that's really rare or something. So look for that. I mean, if you don't want to buy the Wii game, if you just want the 3DS game and you want the figures from the Wii game, you know, you can get that. But really, you really shouldn't play the 3DS game without the Wii game, is the frustrating thing, because the 3DS game is by far a better game, if you ask me. But you can't reset your character's level on the 3DS one. You have to have the Wii version in order to do that, and that sucks, because I bought the Wii version just to do that, and, you know, for the toys. And, you know, I was going to play the Skylanders Wii game, but I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. It was slow, boring, the characters were annoying. But anyway, so, what was I saying? I got sidetracked. I was talking about, yeah, the stores I called. So yeah, today I called a whole bunch of stores, like, barely any stores had anything. And there was this one Toys R Us I kept trying to call. It's the one closest to us. And I kept getting the boop, 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 like the busy signal. No one was answering. It was frustrating me. But that's a good thing that happened, because like I called all these stores, Walmarts, whatever, and I was about to give up. Then I thought, you know, I'll try that Toys R Us one more time. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. I called them. They said they had the 3-pack of Whirlwind, Double Trouble, and Drill Sergeant. That's a Wave 3 thing. That's fucking impossible to find. Fucking impossible to find. So when I heard they had that, I was like shitting my pants, like in fear and anxiety. It's like, oh my god. And I started asking stuff like, okay, if it takes me like an hour and a half to do what I need to do in order to afford it and then get there, what are the chances of it still being there? And he's like, basically 0. He's like, So I was really frustrated. I sounded like the most desperate person in the world on that phone call. I wish I had recorded it because it was actually kind of pathetic. And the guy said, you know, I could hold it for you, and I could hold it for you for my entire shift, which ends at 3. And I was like, whoa, you'd do that for me? You'd do that? That'd be awesome. That'd be amazing. I mean, you'd be the best ever. I was like sucking this guy's cock pretty much. I was like, please hold this thing for me. Please, for the love of God. And so I was saying, like, okay, like, it'll take me about an hour to get to what I need, then maybe about a half an hour to get there. Like, would you still hold it? And, like, he was like, yeah, I could do that. And so, like, here I am just freaking out. Like, I hang up the phone, and then I'm scrambling to find stuff I could trade in at the game deals. Because, like, with the EB Games, like, I could just trade in for store credit. No, this is a store I'd have to use actual, you know, cash for, and I didn't have any at the time. Like, I didn't have any. I'm broke, but I was willing to trade stuff into this sort of place. It's this game store called Game Deals. It's a great store, amazing store, cheap prices, rare stuff, amazing store. New Westminster SkyTrain stop. It's right there. It's amazing. They made a show about it on Screw Attack, actually. And so I scrambled to find stuff to trade in there. I traded in my Sega Saturn because I didn't have any games for it. All I was ever going to use it for was to get Nights into Dreams. And I really do want to play Nights into Dreams, but finding that game and the controller for it is so expensive. It's like, And I got that Saturn pretty cheap anyway, so I traded it in. Like, I traded it in for cash. I got $20 for it. I also traded in Wind Waker for $5. Sorry, Newsom. Sorry, Insane Intentions 1. Yes, I did trade in Wind Waker again, but, you know, it was worth it for me. I didn't have to at that point, because I also traded in the Ocarina of Time Master Quest GameCube disc. It's the single disc. I got $20 for that. And I figured, you know, I don't need this because I can just get it on 3DS now. Sure, Master Quest is slightly different, but I don't care. I've never played Master Quest before anyway, so I wouldn't know the difference. So I got, and I also traded in my Super Game Boy, so I got about $50 there. And the reason I traded in more than I had to, like, got more money than I had to, is first, it would be nice to have some extra money, you know, to get through until my next check. But also, I didn't know if this guy was going to pull some shit on me, like if it was like there was some sort of holding charge, like they charged $10 or whatever to hold it for you, or some fucking shit like that. I was the most anxious, most paranoid I've ever been on a shopping trip. Like, I was breathing heavily, and like I was going like this on the bus, like this, like really anxious, and just had to keep jittering. So I traded that stuff in, got $50. Then I went to the store. Like, I went to the store, ran inside, like running for my life, because I didn't trust this motherfucker for a second. Like, he said that he would hold it for me. I didn't trust him for a second, and here's why: because I have been that one asshole who's taken something that was being held for someone. I was looking for a DS Lite. I don't know when this was, but it was at a time when DS Lites were impossible to find. It was a very short amount of time, but there was a brief amount of time where it was impossible to find a DS Lite. And I just happened to go to the source, and they were holding one for someone who had waited too long. Like, it had passed their waiting time, and they said, this guy's waited too long. We're holding it for him, but he's waited too long. You want it? It's like, okay. So I bought it. So I've been that asshole who's done that. So I know that can happen. So I didn't trust this guy for a second, even though he said he would. I gave him my name. That's the thing that screws a lot of people up, is like they ask, oh, could you hold this for me? And then they forget to give them their name. Don't do that, because they won't hold it for you if you don't give the name. I found that out the hard way once. I can't remember what it was that did that. But anyway, I got there. Sure enough, they had it. They faced it so people wouldn't see it. They put a piece of paper on the back, taped it, had my name on it. I found it. Drill Sergeant, Double Trouble, Whirlwind. And, oh my god, like, I was the happiest, one of the happiest times, like, it's hard to say, like, it was not the happiest I've ever been, obviously, but, you know, I was really happy. I guess that's the easiest way to say it, is I was really friggin' happy. And, like, I said to the guy, like, oh my god, I can't believe you did this. And again, I was like sucking this guy's dick in terms of how much I was complimenting him. It's like, oh, you are the best cashier in the world. I can't believe you did this for me. You are amazing. You're like the best guy ever. And like, I was just rambling at that point because I was so thrilled to find this. And like, like I said to the guy, man, you have no idea how hard these are to find. And then he just sort of looks at me and smiles, like, and it's like that look where he's just, you can tell he's thinking, really? Did you really just say that? Because of course he knows how hard they are to find. He works there. He's seen the mad dash for these things. But like I said, I was just so thrilled, unbelievably thrilled, that, because I seriously thought I was going to have like a panic attack on the buses waiting for this thing. So I got it, and like I was so happy, and like it was one of the most satisfying purchases ever, especially because I had cash for once. I don't usually carry cash on me. So the guy puts it on the desk, and he says $22. Grab out a 20 and a 5, slam it on the desk, and I say, here you go, good sir. I said that out loud, and like, because I was just, you know, like a Disney happy character, like boing boing, happy, bouncing all over the place. Well, not, you know, not like a little kid jumping up and down, but I was thrilled. So I slammed the money on the desk and said, here you go, good sir. And, you know, we talked for a little bit, and I put it in the bag. He's like, have a good day. And I was like, I certainly will, thank you. Like, Mr. Chipper, Mr. Happy. And I felt a little bit bad. Like, I felt a bit of an asshole because I went over to look at the singles they had, because, you know, they might have one of those rare gold or silver ones. Fuck that, I'm not looking for those things. Like, only if they happen to be there. Like, if they actually have them on shelves, I'll look for them, but I'm not going to make a special effort to find one. Fuck that. Like, I saw one on eBay, like a gold flame slinger. They were charging like $250 for that. People were bidding on it. Fuck. Or, no, wait. It might have been a buy it now. I can't remember. But I think there was a gold one I saw where, like, it was a massive amount of money and people were bidding on it. Like, fuck. I mean, I like Flame Slinger, but, man, I'm not going to pay $250 for one that you don't get to see his full colors on. I mean, yeah, it's cool, it's gold and all, but I'd rather have the one that's colored. So, I get on the bus, oh yeah, this is why I was feeling a bit of an asshole, is because I get the thing, I go over to look at the other toys, and there's this dad and his little kid, like maybe 5 years old, looking at the toys, and, you know, I don't know if they were looking for Wave 3, but they probably were, and here's me, 22-year-old male, 22-year-old guy, buying the only one of these they got. I mean, what the fuck? Activision, get it together. Have more of these in stock. One? They had a ton of other singles, but they had one of this, which is Wave 3, the new stuff. Come on, get it together. Stock more of these. It's ridiculous how hard these are to find. But like, so yeah, I felt a bit bad because there's the dad and the kid. I mean, the kid wasn't crying. I don't think he saw that I had these. I don't know. He might not have been looking for Wave 3, but if he was, I do feel a bit bad. But you know, fuck that. I did all the work. I called all these stores, traded in stuff, like had a freaking panic attack trying to get there in time, making sure he didn't sell it to someone else. So I deserved it. I earned it. I earned these toys. I totally earned them. So I felt a bit bad, but at the same time, I was like, fuck that kid. I deserve these. I did all the work. You're not just going to stroll in here, find it, and grab it. Fuck that. So I'm walking towards the bus, and my the bag I used to carry the games to trade in, the bag was starting to collapse. And this has happened once before when I was buying Skylanders, is like, since the bag was collapsing and the bus was coming, like, I started running, and like, I was crossing the street, and like, I noticed this was starting to fall out of the bag, so I was like trying to save it. I did save it for a second, but then I guess it just readjusted in a way, and it fell out onto the street. It was like, fuck. But this happened once before, so I wasn't as panicked as I was, you know, the last time. The last time I had a lot of stuff in the bag, and it all went over the street. But with this, I dropped it, and I was like, I just scooped it up in time. It was like the world is like one of those weird conspiracy theories, like the world does not want me to have these toys. Like, it's gonna drop them and have a car run over them. Fuck that. But no, I got it. I got home, or no, I got on the bus, and then I got on the SkyTrain, and I was like smiling. I was like so happy. And then I got on the bus home, because I got great connections going home. I got off the SkyTrain, right onto a bus that took off right away, and I did something I never do, because I love to whistle. I have no problems whistling while walking around the street. I don't care what other people are thinking, like, man, that guy's annoying. Fuck it, I love whistling, because it's fun, and it makes you feel good. But I never do it on the bus, because you're trapped on a bus with a bunch of people. They don't want to hear it on the bus, because they're just as tired as anyone else. They just want to go home, and they don't want to hear some idiot whistling Nintendo tunes. But this was the first time I ever whistled on the bus, because I was so happy. I was so proud that I did all the work to find these. I got them. And like, I got home, I was telling my mom about it. I mean, not in the extreme detail I've done here, but it was one of the most satisfying things ever. And this is why I think it's going to be one of the most memorable parts of gaming ever for me. Because the experience has lasted a long time. I mean, I haven't played anything else like since November, pretty much. I've only been playing the Skylanders and buying the toys and stuff. And and also nothing else has come out recently, so Skylanders is dominating right now. There's nothing else to do except go for the Skylanders. And it's weird, because not only do you get more content with the game, because you get to play as new characters, so that extends it, but the experience of buying the toys has also changed over time, because, you know, and that evolves as well, and that makes it enjoyable too. Because, you know, at first it was, oh, this is easy, and like, you know, it's the first level, it's easy to get the toys. Then, you know, you get your first disappointment, and you're like, fuck, you're so mad that you almost got it. It just slipped out of your fingers. And so then, like, that's a new part of the experience. Then you triumph, you do all the work, you get it, and it's like a whole new experience now. It's like a whole new experience looking for these things, because finding the toys is probably, at this point, more satisfying than just replaying the game with the new characters. Finding these little fuckers, and the satisfaction of winning. You won, you beat the rest of the world. You found it, you earned it. That is an experience that man, it's just so satisfying. And you're not gonna find, like, I mean, the toy craze, it doesn't happen too often that one of these toy crazes comes around where they're just impossible to find. It doesn't happen as often as you think. And when you do get it, though, you feel like you just conquered the world. You feel like you are better than everyone else. That you did it. You fucking did it. And it's like a great experience. Because like I said, it's the experience of buying these toys has changed, and that has kept the whole game interesting too. Because, you know, you're buying the toys, and if you can just find them all, no problem. I mean, that gets boring. I mean, I swear, like, honestly, by the time I was just able, before Christmas, I was just buying all of them, and sorry, my camera ran out of space because I've been talking so long. But anyway, like I was saying, it got boring. I mean, just buying the toys all the time. This sort of added some new life into it. It added, like, the fact that they're hard to find now added some new life to it. And I don't know if it's technically a good thing. It's incredibly stressful, and you just have to get fucking lucky. Because I didn't say, like, I don't think I said that, is like, when I called the Toys R Us, they were just opening the box. Like, they were just opening the box. They were telling me that, and they were telling me what they had as they were looking at it for the first time. And that's the only way you can do it. Like, I've been thinking is, man, how do these get taken up so quickly? That's how it happens. The people just happen to call as soon as they're opening the boxes, and they snap them up. I mean, it's a total crapshoot. It's at the point where you have to, like, work at the stores in order to get them first. So I just got fucking lucky that I just happened to call as they were opening the boxes. And so yeah, I don't know if it's technically a good thing that they're that hard to find, but it certainly adds new life into the game. It adds new life, new excitement into buying these toys and playing the game, because now that they're so hard to get, you're more excited to play as them. Like, you get the toys, which is hard enough, and then you're like, okay, I want to play as this character, I'm fucking hyped, I deserved it, I earned it. Whereas, you know, with the toys before, I bought them, and I played with them for a bit, but a lot of them I had, like, a handful of them I haven't actually leveled up to level 10 or played with completely. Now that they're this hard to get, I'm gonna fucking enjoy them I'm gonna fucking enjoy them because I worked to get them. And so yeah, that's the thing, is it adds new life to it, and it's been one of the most incredible gaming experiences I've ever had, is this whole craze, because it's been outstanding. And I don't know if you should get into it at this point, like now, because like I said, they are hard to find, and it's unless you're prepared to hunt for these things, you've got to make diligent effort to do this. You've got to do this like every day, call all these stores every day. Unless you're ready to take that commitment of finding these things, and if you enjoy this kind of toy searching, like if you enjoy the hunt of finding something hard to find, then this will be for you. And I don't know how long this will last. I mean, I'm sure it'll become easier to find these later down the road. But for now, it's a massive hunt, and you got to take it seriously. Gaming toys are serious business in this case, and but it is kind of a good thing right now because they hiked the price of the toys a little bit. In some stores, it seems to have not adjusted everywhere yet. Some stores are a little more expensive to buy them. Some stores are the same as they were before. But the toys are, I'm assuming, are all eventually going to be like $2 more. And the 3-packs are apparently $5 more now. But they're still the same in Canada. They're still the same price most everywhere. I haven't seen the $25 3-packs yet. But the game itself is cheaper, like $20 cheaper now. Because that was a big problem with it. The starter pack was like $70, which was a lot. Especially for the 3DS game. The 3DS game, it shouldn't have been 70. It should have been like 50 to begin with, and then they cut the price down to like 40 or 30. Like the 3DS one was way too expensive, but now it is a good time to get into it in that regard, as the game itself is cheaper. At least I've heard that. I haven't actually checked to make sure if that's true, because I think they're still adjusting to the prices at this point. Like, there's still the in-between of not every store has adjusted to the new prices yet. But, man, I mean, the game itself is fun. I mean, but it's been the hunt for the toys. It's been the experience of the game, of, like, the shopping that's been the most interesting part. I mean, you're still in it for the game, and you're in it for the toys, but, like, because, like, the game is good. I do recommend the game, but, at least I recommend the 3DS one. And that's the problem, though, is the 3DS one's better, but you need the Wii one in order to, or the Xbox or the PS3 one, whatever version, you need that in order to erase the character's data, which is a deal breaker. That is a deal breaker. Because if you can't reset the character's data, it's not fun to replay the game, and that is a genuine deal breaker. Unless you know someone who has the console version, you can't erase your data without buying the console one, which sucks. Which does suck. But if you're willing to go through the massive investment to buy and enjoy this game fully, I mean, it's one hell of it's been one hell of a ride, one hell of an awesome, incredible ride with the Skylanders stuff. And yeah, so I guess I've talked long enough, but I just wanted to get it all out there. It's been great, and I'll leave you with showing that aside from, like, the legendaries and, you know, that battle tower, and I think a couple, and the Cinder and the Empire of Ice, I have, like, the entire set. See all of them there? All of the toys. And these. I also kept all the original packaging. It's all stuck up there somewhere. So yeah, that's it. I've talked way too long, so I'll talk to you later. And if you're in for the hunt for Skylanders, good luck, because you're gonna need it, and good luck. Just go for it. And don't hoard them and sell them on eBay, you freaking crooks. Don't do that. That's mean. Bye.